Hello everyone, welcome to Beauty Ash. My name is Ashley and I want to do a recap because yesterday we spent time at Disney Hollywood Studios with my family. It was a pretty decent trip. This is my son in the background. It was a pretty decent trip. We did have excuse me guys, we did have a couple of hiccups, not our fault, but first thing was, so we got to the park, I think around, the park opened at what, 8?
It
No, it opened at 9. The park opened at 9, so we got there about 8:36, mind you. So I was able to go on the app at like 6:50 to make sure I was ready to hit the button to do the virtual queue. I was able to get in. Whew, close call. I was able to get in, so everybody started getting ready, taking their showers, so we can make it. So while we're riding there, my husband was able to get parking. As we were in the line to get to the parking, I get a notification that our group number is being called. We had up until I think 9:40 to get to the group number. And mind you guys, I'm out on the patio deck, so if you hear noises, I don't know, it's other people that's staying at the resort with us, but yeah, so I'm like, oh my God, they're calling our number. We're our group number. So we technically still have time, but we power walking because we don't know how far it is from the entrance or the parking lot to the actual ride. So we all have our magic band on, my family, my mother-in-law, we all, we're power walking, trying to get to the entrance. We go through the entrance fine. They didn't even check our bags. They have this new thing where you just walk through. As many times we went to Disney, they didn't have that. So we just walked through. They did do the temperature check. Everything was moving fine. So we ding, the green light comes around. I'm like, good. My daughter does it, good. My son does it, good. My husband does it, good. And my mother-in-law, it didn't turn green. Ma'am, step to the side, please. I'm like, then she put her hand up to get somebody's attention. He took about maybe 3 minutes to come over. Of course, to me, it felt like more 20 minutes because I'm just like, okay, we need to get on this ride. So the man, he comes over and say, well, we have your mother-in-law booked for 2 days for Epcot on Sunday. We don't have a ticket for her. Mind you, if anybody know about Disney, as of right now, you have to get your tickets in advance because of COVID. So Hollywood Studios have already showed that it was booked. So in my mind, I'm like, so what does that mean? She can't come? Oh, you're gonna have to step over there to that tent. That tent had a line about 5 people already in it, and it wasn't moving. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So we go stand in the line, and I'm waiting. I'm like, okay, so it's finally our turn. The lady just laughed, like, I don't know how that could have happened. We're gonna fix this. I'm like, yes, okay. So they fixed my mother-in-law. I told them to double check for Epcot because I didn't want to run into any issues. So we were able to get to the entrance with no problem. So the Star Wars Resistance ride, we got there perfectly. We had time to spare. So we get there, we're getting on the ride, and we're on the ride. Like, okay, it was pretty serious, a very intense ride. And then all of a sudden, this real normal voice comes across the intercom. We're sorry, but we're having some technical difficulties. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So we waited on that ride for probably a good 5 to 8 minutes. And then the cast members came on and directed us out in the back entrance where the crew members go. I'm like, Lord, please don't let us be getting off this ride and tell us that we can't go at this present time. So they did allow us to go on the ride, but we didn't get the full effect because of the issue. So the ride was, I think, out of any theme park I've ever went to, one of the best rides. And we didn't get the full effect because they had a technical malfunction in the beginning, but it was awesome. I tried to insert some of the videos in there. So we got off the ride. We were just like, it was just awesome, like a very awesome ride. So the other issue was Railroad to Mickey and Minnie. We stood in that line for about maybe 10 to 15 minutes. But of course, when the sun is on you, it feels like it's 25 minutes. So they make an announcement. Unfortunately, everyone, Mickey and Minnie Railroad has temporarily closed because of some technical difficulties. And I'm looking at my husband like, this got to be a joke. All this time we've been standing in line. So FYI, when you all are standing in line, be prepared for them to make an announcement. It may not happen at all, but for it to happen on 2 different rides, that's a lot. When you're standing in a line that can be close to 80 minutes or more. We got out of that ride. We did go on Slinky Dog. That was fine. We did the Tower of Terror. That was fine. Nobody wanted to get on the Rock and Roller Coaster with my husband, so we didn't do that. But overall, we did get on most of the other rides. The other malfunction we had was the mobile food order. Backlot Express is where we, thank you, because I would have got Backlot Express. So we did do the Backlot Express to do the mobile food order. We put in our order, everything went fine. We got off at Slinky Dog. I got the notification, doo-doo, your food is ready. It was like 2:46. Mind you, I put the order in so it could be ready at like 3:05 to 3:30 window. But it said our food was ready. So we starting to head to the restaurant. As soon as I get up to the door where the hostess is, a message saying thank you for your order. I'm like, I didn't pick it up. Why is it saying thank you as if I got my food? So I showed it to the hostess. She said, you sure you didn't pick up your food already? I said, no, this is our first time. So she said, oh, it looks like they had to redo your order. Mind you, we didn't eat anything all morning because we didn't want to get sick on the ride. So at this point, we're starving. So I'm like, okay. She was like, you all can step in the shade, you know, until your food is ready. So they called us and said, you can come down and get your food maybe about 5 minutes later. We get down to the window to pick up our food. Can I help you? And I showed the lady my ticket number on my phone. She said, oh, it looks like we have to reorder your food. I said, y'all joking, right? She said, no, I'm serious. This is a different person. Somebody's about to cut grass. Hopefully you all can still hear me. But, so, yeah, she said they had to redo our order. I said, this has to be a joke. I said, you're like the 3rd person who told us that. So, a man came over and asked, are we okay? I said, no. I said, we've been waiting for our food for a while now. He's like, oh, well, let me get you some complimentary desserts. So, of course, I picked out that pancake thingy. We need the food thing for the kids. So, I mean, you're in Disney. You can't get too upset. I was just hungry at this point. So, the food was pretty good. We got the food. That went fine. I think overall, the rest of the day went good. We didn't really have too many other mishaps. But we'll see tomorrow when we go to Epcot. But today is going to be our pool day here at the resort. The good thing is we're on the Disney, we're inside of Disney. We're not at a Disney resort, but we're on technically like a Disney property, off the property. Like we had to go through the Disney welcome sign to get to our resort. So it took like 5 to 7 minutes just to get to Hollywood Studios, which is pretty cool because we don't have to wake up extra early. So I'll definitely insert some pictures and videos of everything, but overall I would give out of a 10 a 7.5 with all of the mishaps because like I said, it's still Disney. You can't get too mad. What would you say, Kai?
I'd give it an 8, solid 8.
Why would you give it a solid 8?
I mean, the rides is pretty good.
What was your favorite ride?
Well, I can't pick, but it was all of the Star Wars. Like, they was pretty fun, I ain't gonna lie. It's just the thing with Disney, like, they give everything so much detail, like, you can't even, like, I don't know, like, half the stuff, like, you won't pay attention to is details, like, right there. Like,
yeah, I agree. Like the Slinky Dog, just the details. The Elmer's glue, like it's 6 feet tall. The Uno, like it was just crazy. Like they make sure you have things to keep you entertained while you're in the line. So that's where you kind of get hyped up to get on it. Like I really did enjoy Slinky Dog, but of course, the Star Wars Resistance, and hopefully I'm saying the name right, that was one of my favorite rides. It was just crazy, insane. So I could see why people, you know, try to get on that ride very, you know, really want to get on it. But I'm not going to keep going on, but again, those are my tips. If you are trying to do the sign in for the virtual queue, do not use 2 phones, only use one, because you will get an error message. And just make sure you tap it right at 7 o'clock. Like, any extra stuff you're trying to do it on 2 computers, 2 phones, it's not going to work. Like, I've heard people actually vlog and say they tried that and they weren't able to get in. But 1 phone, as long as you have good internet access, you'll be good to go. So that was a huge relief when I was able to get in and we were able to walk right on the ride, one of our first rides. Like, it was just awesome. So hopefully some of my tips help you out. I'll again insert some pictures, so hope you enjoy.
Digest carpet.
BB-8, is everyone assembled? Want to take you to General.
Personally, see them delivered.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Welcome to the cause. May the Force be with us.
Commander Bontan will let us now.
Enemies of the First Order, we will soon snuff out your meager resistance. You chose the wrong side, and now...
Thank you. Get us back, buddy.
Okay, take this corridor to the turbo lift, then head down to the escape pod base. Those droids are programmed to return you to Batu. Hurry and don't get caught. Lieutenant Beck will guide you.
Recruits, for your safety, stay seated with seatbelts securely fastened. Keep hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the transport and supervise your children. Tell them it's a prisoner transfer. Did it work? Good. Now get a move on. There's a clear path to the turbo lift at the end of the hallway. Turn right. A probe droid. You're lucky it didn't spot those turbo lift and stay out of trouble.
All right, wave, y'all. All right, say hi, y'all.
What?
What could possibly go wrong?